Hi everyone. It has been a minute since we've done some of these tutorial videos, but today we wanted to go over how to submit calendar events. So this is something that before was led by web dev admins, but now all basic editors and advanced editors have access to update your own events. And that way the calendar can truly be self-sufficient and every editor and department has control as far as the events that are getting published on the website and a little bit more ownership when it comes to the updates for location, for Zoom links, or any information that you might need to change for your events. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. I'm gonna hop into Cascade to show you all how to upload your own events. So I'm going to share my screen. So what you have here is just the dashboard for Cascade. As a reminder for all of you, the URL for Cascade is this one above, 8443, and you're going to log in with your net ID. It is case sensitive, so make sure you use a capital C or a lowercase c, depending on which one you started off with, but we encourage you to try them both if one of them's not working. And just use the same password as your net ID. And then once you log into that, you're going to end up at a dashboard such as this. So we're going to click to go to a site, CSU Pueblo main site. And what you'll see again on the left-hand side is the site content. It's the folders that you have access to. And the addition with this new level and edit level is the calendar. So what you'll do is click on the calendar once. You'll get this drop down of everything that you can find inside. Click on the year. So obviously we're making this video for 2021, but you might be watching this at a later year. Make sure you click on the year that you're at, or in case you're planning for 2022, just give us a heads up so we can create a calendar folder for you. But once you click on the year, you're going to then click on the month of the event. So inside of each yearly folder, you're going to find 12 different folders always, and they represent the 12 different months of the year. So for this example, we're going to add a sample event for May 27th. So in that case, I'm going to click on the 05 folder. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to click this greater than symbol. And once I see the folder 05 here at the top, I see these events inside of this folder, then I know I'm in the right place to add my event. So again, make sure you click on this little greater than symbol and you see it on the right hand of your screen. Another way to get to this is by right clicking and selecting view. And that also makes sure that you're inside of the folder to add your event. So now we're going to go to add content at the very top. Before, you only had navigation link, interior page, and file as options of what to add. Now you also have this calendar event. So if we click event, that should open up the template for us to start adding our event information. As far as page name requirements, just to keep that URL very simple as far as when the event is happening, we ask that you kick off the URL and page name for your event with the date that it is happening. So for example, tomorrow is the 27th of May. We're already in the folder that represents May 05. So I'm going to put, to start off this URL, 27. And now to align with Cascade naming conventions, I'm going to put dash sample event. This would be replaced by the title of your event. So if your event was career fair, it would be 27-career-fair. So I'm actually going to do that just as an example. It's lowercase, I forget, career fair. For some reason, you do forget that they're the naming conventions for the page name. Again, this is what makes the URL. Cascade will remind you. So if I step off this little editing area, it tells me that the name does not meet the naming requirements, and I could just use a suggested name. So for this event, the sample event is career fair. Summary, career fair for students. Again, this is just a sample event that we're creating on the spot. Keywords, Think of keywords as any search terms that students might use, or the community or whoever your target audience is. Think of keywords that they might use to find your event or to search for it. So we're going to use careers, comma, separate everything by commas, jobs, comma, career center, events, most likely. Actually, events is probably not a good one. I think those three are sufficient. For description, usually we just take the same summary and paste it, just because this appears on the little preview that you see on pages once that calendar is enabled. The description is what people see once they click on the event to view more details. Most of the time, that information is the same. It just might fit a little bit differently on the page. Now, this is the part that might get confusing. Start date and end date aren't actually referring to the start and end date of your event. That's referring to when you want your event to start appearing on the website calendar. So if this is an event that was happening next week, for example, but I wanted to let people know about it now and put it on the calendar now, then my start date would be the time that I submitted this. So we're going to do that for today. Today's the 26th. It doesn't really matter what time, so long as it's today. But say I wanted this to go live tomorrow, then obviously that's when I can pay attention to the time. For end date, that's when you want your event to be removed from the website. We recommend removing the event right after your event is finished. So the end date, if this is something that's happening tomorrow, would be tomorrow at 4 p.m., for example. Now for categories, you have 4 categories to choose from, and these are community, faculty and staff, students, and professional development. So this is for you to choose who your target audience is for this event. You can choose more than one. It says on here, control click to select multiple, but I believe you can also just click. And if you accidentally selected a category that you don't want, you can just click on the category and simply delete. So this will be an event for students, the sample event. Now, event details, this is when the event starts and when the event ends. So this is not related at all to when it will appear on the website. It's strictly the event details. So this is going to hypothetically take place tomorrow, starting at 2 p.m. And it's going to end tomorrow at 4 p.m. Just like how we have our website calendar removing this tomorrow at 4 p.m. Or you could also have the calendar event be removed before the event starts. It's really your preference at that point. If you have an all-day event, you could just simply check. And in that case, these 2 fields will be ignored, the time fields. But if it's not an all-day event, then this will be the default, the time for these. You have the option to select whether this event repeats. If it's an event that's just happening once, which will be the majority of cases, then you have to select once. It won't let you save and preview your event unless you mark as just once. But if your event does repeat, you can choose more settings as far as the frequency. So now going down to the details, we're going to put the same details as the summary and the description above. So we're just going to paste that again. I'm going to make sure that this is HTML. So I'm just going to format, formats, paragraph, just to make sure it's HTML. Location, say this was, we're going to make OSC. And then if you have any contact information as far as who is leading this contact, if there's a flyer related to it, or any sort of registration link, this is where you can also add this information. We normally have added contacts in the past, just the phone number, email address. Usually we don't link to any website. It's rare that we've uploaded flyers. If you are uploading a flyer though, please make sure that it is readable, just for ADA compliance purposes, no images that can't be readable, readable, whatever the right accent is for that. And then related link, that's also a rare occurrence that you will need that, but that's mainly if you do have a reservation that needs to happen off of our website. Also, this will be extremely helpful for Zoom. So if you have an event that's happening online, you can add the location here as Zoom with the URL. You can also add it as a website or related link. So this covers how to set up your event. We're going to save and preview, and that's going to prompt workflow. So for most new pages, you can't see a preview of your page, but for the calendar, you can. We're going to click submit, and we're going to check our content submit. We see that this is going to go to this workflow that then goes to our team for approval. So then we're going to click that little check mark to send it through to workflow. This is where you can put little notes to me of, might need the Zoom link updated as an example. Any time sensitive information as far as when this event goes live. If it's an event that's happening tomorrow and you need me to approve, that might be something that you can change the due date for this so that I can get it approved by today at 4 p.m. or 5 p.m. Hopefully that's not the case and we're planning in advance, but we never know when last minute things come up. So from there, we start workflow and your job is done. What happens from there is that it will prompt, it will just be part of our workflow queue. We get workflows approved at least twice a day, twice a day. But again, just let us know if there is something time sensitive about the event you're posting. What will happen is that once your event gets approved, we have all calendars and all calendar widgets. Those will be on a publishing schedule. So we're going to have those published once a day. If we need to have those on a publishing schedule for twice a day, we can do that. But what that means is that if today, Wednesday, I submit an event to workflow and it gets approved, I'm going to see it on the calendar tomorrow. Just because there's multiple places where we're distributing this event to, and we want to make sure it gets published on all of them so that anyone that's seeing a calendar, like whether it be on a college page, a school page, or as a widget, they can see those. And those aren't active on our website yet, but once we start seeing events coming into our queue, we're going to make sure we enable this calendar so that people can see the events that we're actually hosting on campus or off campus virtually via Zoom. The main reason the calendar was removed was because it was blank for a really long time. And it was something that self-sufficiency was very hard to figure out how to move this forward with all of you so that all of you could have basic editor access. So thank you for your patience in getting this template enabled so that all of you could utilize it. And we look forward to seeing these workflows come in for your events. Please let us know if you have any questions. You can email us at webdev@csupueblo.edu. Thank you. Bye.